Okay, today starts out with camera in hand, and the reason why it starts out with camera in hand, I finally got the spinners done, and I'm going to show you the weights, and I'm going to put the camera down. We're going to come back. I'm going to do one more back plate, and the piece that never comes, it always takes two of those when you use a true turn spinner, so I'm going to make up some to be included with my spinners. Now I'm not going to make a whole lot of these spinners because they are a ton of work to make. So first let's get started with the spinner weights. So we'll turn the scale on. Come on. And we put the standard spinner on there, and she's 40 grams. That's this top nut, the back plate, and the spinner. 40 grams. Now the spinner that I'm making, we'll put on here, looks exactly the same, but it's 14 grams. And that's with primer on it, by the way. I primed it up because I'm gonna have to paint it anyway. So here's the nut that I made and the spinner. We got 14 grams. So that's not too bad. Not too bad. I'm happy. I said 15 to begin with, but we ended up with 40. I already had it chucked up and spinning. It runs perfectly true. So that's good. The nuts were made out of this mold right here, and I think I showed it in one video. And I split it open and popped this nut out, and then we poured the composite material inside it, and that's good to go. So I did a few more spinners, and they're getting better and better. This one has a different back plate on it. It's 24 grams. So this back plate is quite heavy. It's a 6-gram back plate as opposed to, oh, I know what it is. I have this nut on there. We got the 3-gram back plate, the 6-gram back plate, and the cone itself weighs 6 grams. So you can swap them back and forth. All the parts will interchange between aluminum or metal. Here's the aluminum back plate, and of course the spinner will fit right on it. And you can use the aluminum top or the composite back plate with the metal spinner. These are very difficult to make, very time consuming, so I don't know how many of those I'm going to make. I did pour a few of the bell cranks in the same material, and it seems very, very strong, so I'm going to do a few of those. So I'm going to set the camera down, and when I come back I'll show you the very last mold pour that I'll be doing for the spinners. I'm going to make the box for the other style back plate, and then of course pour the insert for the true turn type spinners, because it always takes two of those sets to make one drive for some reason. I have not figured out why the electric guys, I mean, when you get a spinner set up, you got to mix, match, swap just to get something to work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put together a package that I can say, okay, here you go. It'll bolt right on your airplane. You don't have to look for a special spinner nut, drive, the collet, this, that, and the other. It's ridiculous. So that's where I'm at today. I'll get back with you in a few minutes when I set the camera up and get the material cut for building that box, and we'll hot glue it together and do that. So I'll see you in a short. Hey, welcome back to the last shot of doing the spinners, because just eating up too much time and I got a lot of stuff to do yet. So this will be the last installment of the spinners. I wanted to show you what the spinners weighed and how they looked, and the nut that I made that a lot said that wouldn't work, but it here's the nut. It threads perfectly on there. I didn't even have to chase it or anything. It just screws right in. Absolutely perfect. It's a perfect copy of the other one. Real happy with the way this project turned out. It's just a lot of work. There's a lot of work to making these spinners. So, if you want one, they ain't going to be cheap, but they will be available in limited quantities because I'm not making a lot of them. But we're going to do the last part, the back plate. I wanted to do this back plate that had the holes in it so that I could spot it, and these are already kind of spaced out. And when I get this molded up in the composite material, the task 4, I can go ahead and open up those holes even bigger. So what we're going to do is, first, I got the hot glue gun going here. I hate the smell of this. I got some, just some 1/8" plywood that I've cut, and we're going to hot glue a box onto the plywood floor. So just go around the perimeter and kind of do a makeshift box. Again, it's not rocket science. It's 1/2 inch wide. Takes about 25 feet to do a landing gear. So we'll cut them up here. I already had 3 pieces cut. This, we're going to do the 40 gear. So it doesn't take quite 25 feet, I remember now. We need 13 pieces. Pretty boring stuff. Nothing to really see. But when this is done, I'll be able to mold carbon fiber bell crank or back plates, or do the task 4 casting resin in it. So God, I hate the smell of this glue. If I had to build models with this glue, I wouldn't do it. Hot. But it's good glue for making these molds because it seals the box. So I don't have to use any clay or sealing rubber. Unplug the glue. Okay, this is the smooth on casting resin. Comes in a nice box. This is the sample size. You get 2.2 pounds or 1 kilo. I had already opened this up, but it tells you to go ahead and shake it, so we're going to shake it. I'm going to cut the video. I'm going to go figure out the material needed, because you can figure out the volume of this box, but it takes weight, and this has a specific weight to this product, and it tells you how many pounds you need. I know we're not going to need a half a pound for that, for this piece and this piece. So I'm going to guess on this. I'll figure it out to this, and then estimate it on this, and hopefully we come out right. Be right back. Walked over to the computer, figured out that we need about a quarter pound of casting rubber for this, and 0.14 for this, so I'm going to mix it up. I'm thinking that's going to be around 6 ounces. We'll make it easy. So we'll shake part B. Oh boy, what a sloppy mess. And we'll stir it. So we need 3 ounces of this. We'll see how. I'm getting pretty good at it, though. I'm getting pretty good at figuring out what I need. So we turn this on. Got a little bit of schmutz down there. Been a lot of fun doing the molding, but it's time that I get back to work on building some airplanes. I know that I can do this now. So we need 3 ounces of this. So in the future, that's grams. I need to be on ounces. 1.3. That's 2. Let's mix it up at 2.6, because I don't think 2.7, so we don't 2.7. We're not going to need that much. I know now that I can do this, so should the need arise later on for a special part, I know how to do it. As I said, I will have a few of these for sale, but I'm not going to make a living doing this because it's just too much work. 2.7, so we're looking at 5.4 finished. Oh, there we go. You followed along. I made landing gear. I made wheel pants. I know how to do cowls. I know how to do spinners, back plates. We're going to make these little extra parts, so it just shows me that anything can be made. And made light. I was a little concerned about, is the spinner going to be strong enough, made of this composite, this is what the composite resin, or casting resin. And when you see them, you're going to say, wow, that's super strong. And that's the Task 4, that's this product here. Task 4. And the pink resin that I got, the flexible foam, that was quite the adventure to get that to work correctly and not have any voids or anything in the mold. And because I knew I had to have a good mold for that, because I wanted the threads to come out perfect. And they did. Okay. So now, remember what I told you about pouring these molds? Do the low spot first. That's in the center and around the perimeter. So now I got quite a bit of that in there. I'm going to go ahead and put some in this because I definitely don't want to not have enough rubber to do both molds. We're going to shake this around. Gotta have enough for that. Stuff is so messy. So, that's that. Boil up the last of that. And that's the end of that. So when we come back, I'll demold this stuff. I'll show you for the last time the casting of the parts and the removal of the parts, and then we're on to building the beam wing airplane. So cutting wood finally. That's it. Thanks for watching. I'll get back to you in a day or so.